Hildebrand Services Incorporated, professional carpet cleaning and more. As you can see here, we are doing a strip and a waxing job. Right now I am applying the stripper to the floor. As you also see, I am doing the perimeter first to make sure I don't splash any onto that baseboard and also up the wall because it will damage that. Now it's one of those things you definitely want to take time in doing your work to make sure it comes out the best as possible. As I go back and forth, I make sure that there is enough stripper on the tile itself to make sure the job is done right. Now you can see me bring in the scrubber. I also take the scrubber along the perimeter to make sure that I don't miss any spots, and also that it gets the attention that it's needed. Most of the time the edges are missed while doing a stripping and waxing job because they just get overlooked. So after I go over the edges, shortly after, you'll see me be going back and forth side to side. This also does help prevent the splashing up on the baseboard and the walls. You can actually take another look here. And while I'm going side to side, this is actually a little bit longer stretch than I normally like, but it was the distance from one end of the wall to the next. Normally you want to keep it to where your feet are pretty much set still. All you're doing is walking back in a backwards motion, and the scrubber itself is just going side by side, and you don't have to move your feet or step forward. This spot right here, you can actually see where I'm working on it. It's taking me a little bit longer because it's got a little bit more build up, or there was some deeper scratches that needed a little bit more attention. Also, if you look at my boots. See how my pants are tucked into my boots? When you're doing a stripping and waxing job, you always want to make sure you have your clothing protected, because if you get stripper or wax on your clothing, it will mess it up. That's why my pants are tucked into my boots, and those are steel toe boots, because if the scrubber gets too close, it'll definitely break a toe. So always wear your PPE, and that is personal protection equipment. Here we go again. We're going with the squeegee now, taking off all the excess stripper. Yet again, I'm going to do the perimeter, and if you notice throughout this whole video, you will see me going along the perimeter first. What this does, it gets off all that excess stripper, so when you go through in the final stages and rinse it, makes rinsing a lot easier. Here we're doing the excess cleanup of the stripper that we took off the floor that we already stripped down. You don't want to let it sit for too long because it will take it down, and it won't be as even when you go back through and you're trying to wax it. It won't look as good. So you always want to make sure you clean up your excess. That way you don't have any further problems in the long run. Here we go with the final step. We're rinsing the floor. You can actually see how the floor is a lot duller than the rest of the flooring. And that's because you stripped off a lot of the wax. Now when you go through and you rinse, you got to make sure that you do change your mop. You rinse out your mop a lot, and you also on big areas have to change the bucket of water so you're not cross-contaminating. See, I didn't take that many swipes there, and I'm already rinsing my mop out. I do this quite a few times. And another neat trick here is after you do your rinse, you can take a look at the floor, and you're going to see that it has a nice shine to it. And that's exactly what you want to see, because when you go through and you finally put wax on it, that's exactly what the floor is going to look like. So after you rinse and you take a nice look, just like you can start to see it right there, you can definitely tell that once that gets waxed, it's going to have a nice shine for it. And this flooring actually did come out very well. See, yet again, you can see that shine, and that's exactly what you want to see. Thank you for watching my video.